Ram Krishna Hari. We offer our namaskars at the feet of Lord Vitthal and all Varkari saints. As we are learning about the Varkari Sampradaya, from the previous section we already learnt about how Mauli had the urge to start this Varkari movement or the Bhakti movement, and how saints from all over India joined it. It is said that the first Wari was started by Mauli in the Hindu year 1213, and it started in the month of Ashadi, that is Ashad, and it was supposed to be for a Chaturmas up to Kartike Ekadashi. Saints from all over the country joined each other at various places, and there were lakhs of people who had collected on the banks of the Chandrabhaga at Pandharpur. It is said that there was such a great spiritual fervor at that moment that the ecstasy was beyond what one could explain in words. But Santa Janabai, who was actually serving Santa Namdev at his house, was also a very great saint, and they say great souls come together for a certain reason. And here Janabai was a person who through her abhangs made a record of what was the feeling like in two of her very famous abhangs. One, Vithu Maza Lekuravada, where she talks about how so many saints had gathered there. It was as if Vitthal was carrying all these saints, be it Nivruttinath, Jnandev, Muktabai or Sopandev or Gora Kumbha, Savtamari, all these saints. She says Vitthal is carrying them on his head, on his shoulders, on his hands, and so many other, his legs, his thighs, all of them are covered fully with the saints. And she says, Janabai, I myself would like to be at the feet of Vitthal, because that is a place for me, who is a servant of the saints. Dasoham means, she says, I am the servant of the servants. Janabai also goes on in one of her abhangs to give a beautiful expression to this saint gathering. One can very well imagine the euphoria which must have been there. She explains this movement, this particular meeting of all the saints on the banks of the Chandrabhaga at Pandharpur, and later on the entire procession when it goes into the Sabha Mandap at Pandharpur temple, and how Chokha Mera, who used to be sitting only on the doorstep, as we saw in one of our earlier episodes also, when he takes a darshan, his wife Soirabai takes a darshan of Vitthal, and when Mauli himself, Jnaneshwar Mauli himself, looks at Pandharpur and at Pandharinath, what are his reactions? These abhangs are an evidence about it. It is said that the two types of bhakti, one Jnana Bhakti of Sant Jnaneshwar Mauli, and second Prema Bhakti of Sant Namdev, was a beautiful combination, and all the saints were ecstatic in their devotion to Vitthal. All of them sat around, and there was bhajan and kirtan by Sant Namdev, and pravachan. Pravachan is lecture, that is talking about the various scriptures and explaining the meaning to the common man in his language, so that he is able to get spiritually uplifted too. This was what Mauli had decided. So Mauli was mainly concerned with sermons or lectures on the Gita, on the Jnaneshwari. He would even talk about the Hari part. He would even talk about Amrit Anubhav. But he would see to it that it was spoken in a language the common man understood. Sant Namdev would sing abhangs and kirtans. He would explain it in a different way to people which would appeal to them, rather in a more musical way. At that moment, Janabai requests Jnandev Maharaj that instead of giving pravachan, why don't you also sing an abhang? And that is why there is this famous abhang of Janabai. Namadeva Kirtana Kari Prema Bhara Nache Panduranga. So Panduranga is dancing to such an extent because all the devotees are in a euphoric spiritual atmosphere over there, and everyone is so charged with the bhakti movement, with the bhakti that they have towards Vitthal, the love they have towards Vitthal, because here two important saints, Mauli as well as Sant Namdev, their presence also adds to that euphoria. So much is the atmosphere, so much has the entire Sabha Mandap filled with devotion that Pandurang himself cannot stand on that wit, and he steps down and he also dances among his devotees. As we said, he is Bhakta Vatsala. He would do anything for his disciples, and when they have so much love for him, it is 1,000 times more love that he showers on his devotees. So even Pandurang is dancing in this entire group with group of Sant Chokha Mira, Gora Kumbha, Sauta Mari, Soira Bai, Zana Bai, Sant Namdev, Mauli, Nivruttinath, Muktai, and we have so many other great saints. And the most important thing is Kabir from Varanasi has also come down all the way from there to take part in this Vari. He also is sitting there and he is also singing and dancing. Now the evidence to Kabir's presence is in Zanabai's Abhang itself, where she says that when Pandurang is so ecstatic and so much full of love for his devotees in his dancing, he doesn't realize that his dhoti, the pitambar as we call it, that comes out. And so Kabir tells him, Vithala, take care, savadho, savadho. Kabir is asking him to take care that your dhoti has come out and people are watching you, they may laugh at you. Such is the atmosphere where there is no duality of a person who is a devotee and the one to whom devotion is offered. Everyone has become one. It is as if one unified energy is completely charging that place. This movement has raked in so many devotees from all over that this Varkari movement, which took a very great and important step then, which was initially started many centuries ago, but it was Mauli, Jnaneshwar Mauli Maharaj, who saw to it that the movement became more active. So from the Hindu year 1213 to 1217, there were varis which were done in Chaturmas, that is 4 months. These devotees would stay at one place at Pandharpur itself. Nowadays people come and leave after taking their darshan, but those days it was not the case. So this 1217, the Hindu year 1217, was the Kartike Ekadashi when Mauli realized it's now time for me to take Sanjeevan Samadhi. I need to end my incarnation, my avatar here. And so he speaks about this to Sant Namdev. He also speaks to his guru, Sant Nivruttinath Maharaj, Sopandev, his brother, and of course, not to miss out on Sant Muktabai. These are saints. They know that they have come for a limited time for a certain mission, and once their mission is done, they leave the place. They don't overstay. So, though they felt a little bad that their mission was getting over on this earth in the form of Mauli or his brother and sister and saints and other important devotees, still they accepted Mauli's suggestion of taking Sanjeevan Samadhi. Sanjeevan Samadhi is where Mauli enters into a Samadhi state in his life form when he is alive, and slowly with the breath control he merges with the elements of nature. Even today at Arandi, Mauli's Sanjeevan Samadhi is said to have so much of vibration that any person who steps into Arandi cannot miss out on those vibrations at all. Further, how did the Samadhi take place, and later on which of the brothers or sister took the Samadhi is what we will see in the next session. Till then, Ram Krishna Hare.